I want to give a big thanks to Straight Arrow News for sponsoring this YouTube channel. Stick around. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another top 10 video for 2024. We're looking at my top 10 worst Marvel Legends of 2024, and these are not my top 10 worst figures of 2024 in my eyes. Some of you may think that these should be on the list, and I would not fault you for that. I went through quite a process of figuring this out. It was actually pretty tough for me. I think 2024 was actually a very good year for Marvel Legends. I had actually even chosen some figures from 2023 for the list and then had to remove them, so that's how tricky it was for me. Wolverine and Deadpool over here are nowhere near the absolute worst, but man, they could have been so much better if they'd each had different paint for them. They just have this vibrancy to the plastic that makes them look very cheap. Brother Voodoo, not a bad figure, just a figure I feel like just didn't need to be made. This Spider Shot figure, I know, has gotten a lot of negative praise. Is that praise? But I gotta say, I think I rated that thing at around an 8. And looking back, you know, I've done this the other way around where I've grown to like a figure more over time. But with the Spider Shot, I've grown to dislike more over time. It's those joints at the waist, they stick out so badly. But I'm going to stand behind what I'd said during that review. It's still a fun figure to pose around. Getting him to look up is annoying, but yeah, they could have done a much better job on that Spider Shot. Not on my top 10 list, but I would assume on a lot of other people's top 10 lists. The Namor over there, just don't like the design of it. And then, yeah, the Red Widow over here is just a lame figure. I'm happy to have a new character. But anyway, let's get on to the top 10 list. But first, I got to give a big thanks to today's sponsor. I hate that frustrating feeling of not knowing what to think or not feeling like I'm getting accurate information for my news sources. And Straight Arrow News is the best place to get your news because it is not left-leaning or right-leaning. It gives you the news from all perspectives. You're getting the information from all sides, and it is incredibly refreshing. You could use my link down below. You want to go to san.com/prime and download Straight Arrow News. It's completely free, and the app is very easy to work with. I found it just great as far as watching videos and reading articles. Very informative, and it's not trying to persuade me to think one way or another. It's just giving me honest information. Honest information that does not frustrate my brain. And I need that. I appreciate that. And I think you would too. So check it out. san.com/prime. Download Straight Arrow News today. So at number 10 is Justice over here, and not just for the figure's sake, using an old Sunfire body mold that still has the pins in it and everything, not even the updated version. That bums me out with this figure, but the design choice for the character in particular is frustrating that they didn't go with the Marvel Boy look. I don't know what the heck happened or what Hasbro was thinking. I have a feeling that they were trying to figure out which character they could add. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll just do Justice. There we go. Without thinking, like, or doing the proper research and finding out that the collectors would really need a Marvel Boy more than anything. I don't understand why they went this direction, but the choice of this design upsets me, and the figure itself upsets me. Definitely not the worst figure of the year in my opinion, but still, it let me down. Well, you're gonna get so mad. Yeah, I know. A whole bunch of you are gonna be pissed off at me for putting this figure on the list, but I am frustrated with this Model 9B Iron Man. I feel like this could have looked a whole lot cooler. I hate the way the marbling looks on the chest. I don't like the color palette for the figure. That we've had the 9A that has a cooler, metallic, shinier look to it, and we've had other Iron Man figures with similar armor to this one that I just think look better. So I'm just frustrated with this figure for those reasons more than anything else. There's these ugly seams that run down the middle of the boots that frustrate me. And yeah, man, we have the older pinned legs right there. It's not the worst, you know, it would have been higher up on the list, but damn, like I really wanted to like this figure a whole lot more than I do. But hey, it's on the shelf. It made it to the shelf, so it's not even in the top 5. I just think that they could have done a whole lot better with this piece. Now, some people may like this Black Panther figure. I just think this never needed to happen. in this kind of way. I feel like they're trying to match the Toy Biz version of T'Challa when he had this look, and I feel like Hasbro just did not come close to it. It just looks bland to me when it could have been a very ornate and well-detailed version of Black Panther. It just didn't deliver on that, and it frustrates me. A lot of reuse over here, which I'm not surprised about. And that whole collar thing on the front of the figure, it doesn't port in properly to the cape, so that's frustrating. Again, not god-awful, you know, the body mold is cool and everything, and there's still some decent posability. It could be somebody's favorite Black Panther, I guess, but for me, I'm just disappointed and just don't think that this particular version needed to exist in the first place, or if it did, and they were going to redo it, like, go hard, you know what I mean? Like, try to make it look at least as dope as the Toy Biz version, but it just seems like they just didn't put enough effort into it, and yeah, if you're going to try to match another version of the figure, it's like, well, you got to try to match that figure, man. I don't know. I'm just frustrated with this piece. It had to be on my top 10 worst of 2024. Then we have Hydro Man from the Daredevil 2-pack, which is like, dude, I just wish they would make a deluxe Hydro Man and give him some cool interchangeable parts, cut off waist, or do something. I've wanted another Hydro Man with like some serious water effects, and it's like they made this fully translucent Hydro Man over here, which just looks silly to me. I just don't like the way, I mean, it's cool to have, like, if he had some cooler, updated water effects to go with it. That would have made a lot of sense, but no, we didn't get that with this figure. We got the same old effects poured onto the feet. They gave us a new head, which is cool, but yeah, I'm just frustrated with this figure over here. I'm just bummed out about this figure. Just big old bummer. Could have been really cool. Came out hella weak. And the Skating Iron Man made it to the list. Yeah, I haven't reviewed that Secret Wars wave. That'll be the first thing I review for 2024 is that Secret Wars wave. But yeah, this... Spoiler alert, not a big fan of this figure. I mean, it's a fine figure. It's just been redone so many times. So it's just like another re-release. Another re-release that, like, didn't have to happen in this kind of way. Like, the big bonus over here is that we get the roller skates. Like, okay, that's the selling point. But other than that, there's just nothing new going on over here. And I do appreciate the pinless joints over here. It's just, dude, well, why re-release the same thing over and over again? For that, it had to go on the list. So, blah, there it goes. Roller skates, oh yay. Then we have the Last Stand Spider-Man, and it's just, I just don't really like this design. As a figure, posing him around, it's just not that fun. It's just it's one of the least mobile Spider-Man figures that I've picked up in a while. Like, you could hate that spider shot for the way it looks, but at least it's fun to pose around, aside from looking up, you know, but it's still fun to pose around. This one, not so fun to pose around. Just very limited, and I just don't like this design for Spider-Man. It's just so baggy, and all these wrinkles and everything, it doesn't add to the character. If anything, it takes away from the character. I just don't enjoy this figure very much, but it is hanging from the ceiling in my Spider-Verse section of my ceiling. And then at number 4, we have Superior Iron Man, which would have been higher on the list if there wasn't actual artwork that would support the idea of this being an all-white figure, which I'm still really mad at it being an all-white figure. I mean, it does have a pearlescent sheen over the white, and you can see I started customizing it with some chrome paint, which is what it should have been. It's specifically supposed to be chrome. Like, there's no other version where it's not chrome. Like, it's deliberately chrome from the books. I could understand why people would misinterpret it as it being shiny white, and some artists did draw it that way, but the way it's written, it's a chrome iron suit, and yeah, maybe I should finish customizing it, but yeah, for that, it really bummed me out because I really wanted a Superior Iron Man. I really liked that story, and yeah, it would have been cool to have gotten it, but we got this other version instead. The head sculpt's really nice. I do like the head sculpts a lot, actually, to be honest with you, but yeah, just the fact that they went with white instead of silver, shame! You put this figure on the list, Hasbro, not me! And at number 3, I'm giving it to Spider-Gwen. These top 3 worst of 2024 shouldn't be a surprise. Because, yeah, I was really bummed out about the Across the Spider-Verse wave, or these 3 figures that you're going to see next, because, yeah, dude, it's just, I went over this recently. I reviewed the wave not that long ago. Spider-Gwen right here, the colors are based off of one specific scene, but she does come with Delilah, hologram, and she also has a nicer looking masked head sculpt over here. So, you know, she gets a little bit of a pass, but it's a redone figure, easy cash grab, reprinted, painted oddly. Here it is. Then at number 2, I'm giving it to this Spider-Punk figure, which could have been really, really awesome. Yeah, if they added some white paint on it and some yellow and chopped it up and made it look all crazy like a $5 show flyer, that would have been really cool. I felt like that's what they were going to try to go with, but they just fell flat. Like they tried a little bit on the guitar. If they kept up that theme with the guitar throughout the whole figure, it would have been a whole lot better. I'm going to customize this figure. Eventually, I'm going to customize it. I know I say that all the time, and then I end up not. But this one, I'm really going to go for it because it can be messy. That's the other thing, too. It didn't even have to be that clean about it. Could have been all messy and stuff, and I probably would have still been happy with it. Should look messy. But yeah, they just went with easy, it looks like, and yeah, it's just frustrating. Yeah, and at number 1's the stupid Spider-Man 2099. Yeah, they gave him a darker blue color, they changed his cape, and they gave him a head sculpt, which I did want, but damn it, he's so pale, and he has no expression or anything, which I guess is fairly suiting, but I just don't like it. And they could have changed his hands, too. He has no claw hands, so that bums me out. You know, he has the time jumper or the multiverse jumper thing, which is cool, but like, dude, they could have at least added some more deco on the blue portions if they didn't want to retool stuff, but I wish they had retooled it. I'm just really bummed out over this figure. Just bummed out as soon as I knew it existed. I was just like, oh shit, god damn it. So yeah, this one made the number 1 spot. Consistently bummed me out through its existence. I'm just really bummed out over this Spider-Man 2099 figure. Yeah, biggest letdown of the year as far as action figures go for me. So that's my list. What do you guys think? It's a bunch of figures I'm not happy about. I didn't have as much fun putting this list together as my top 10, to be honest with you. It was pretty tricky. Again, 2024, not a bad year for Marvel Legends, man. It was tricky to find figures I was just genuinely really upset about. That Across the Spider-Verse wave, yeah, it seems like that's the through line here with all these shitty Marvel Legends, is that they all seem to be associated with some kind of film release. So if they have less of those types of waves happening, I guess that's better for the line. It seems like they've been putting more focus on their figures overall in general, especially with the comic figures, which makes me happy. But yeah, aside from that, you know, we definitely have comic book figures here that really bummed me out a lot. So, what else can I say? These figures frustrated me. I want to know what you guys think. I also want to know what your top 10 worst figures of 2024 was. So if you leave me your list down below and I read it, I'll give it a heart. And thanks again for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you want to support, hit that subscribe button or hit that join button. And big thanks again to Straight Arrow News for sponsoring me. We'll have another ad for them in a couple weeks. So if you've seen too many of those for your liking, we'll get another one, a little space for you. All right. So thanks again for watching, you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you later. Happy New Year. Peace. Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face,